A Moor in Manhattan, Part 2. 'Tis seared into my memory, that enigmatic stranger, that spirit none did ever see, who was a climate changer, that twanged the air with energy, if ever he in danger. If he headed into hazard, then we find we in a squall, and the next that always happened was the next to him would fall. For the reaper always reaped a soul, I felt the atmospheres, as aimed it to another goal, take any soul but his. I seen shipmates take a cannonball, headed for Janszoon, and our ship crashed through a weather wall as it summoned our typhoon. I felt bullets with his name on, altering their course, as his exclusive daemon applied its unseen force. I thought I saw outlined in snow it once battling the Spanish. Outlined in snow a figure's glow, but as I stared it vanished. I thought I saw defined in rain its shape high in the rigging, yet some claim I sloshed insane from rum that I'd been swigging. I saw an axe in Iceland glancing off its arc, and I spied a knife in Ireland miss its intended mark. And gossip on the galley that a poison meant for him by a mistress supped in Sally was seduced to by the gin. Back in Sally's rowdy streets seen lassies thirsty glare, all wishing him between the sheets their holy shrines to share. I seen girlies in the dozens doing him in shifts, and even wives with husbands offering their gifts. Still hear the wenches cooing as fingered flanges greased, and even queens were queuing to frolic with that beast. They'd felt the shadow lurking, and ladies like it bad, and I often seen him smirking from those fresh fruits that he'd had. I often seen that cheesy grin in the taverns after, and I sense his spirit twin and its contented laughter. Sense its amusements in the pub has magnified their evil luck, with every maiden made to fuck, and every captive they could pluck. I sense and sat there thunderstruck, itching for escape. I itched to flee that foul nightmare, where one was sat, one wasn't there, and though I prayed the good Lord's prayer, that gin of his still fizzed the air, so I exchanged my plunder share to find a ship to home. For grew both they with every soul, with every girl gave up her whole, with every town turned to charred coal, until they had in their control governorship of Sallee. And after Sallee, where to then? The kingdom of the Ottomen? After Turkey, Venice, Spain, conquering from people's pain, the world would be the twain's domain, and I wanted out. Back to Amsterdam I sailed, and 'twas a wretched course, as whence was there I was detailed into the naval force. I lost all my investment, fleeing from my fears, and a guilder for impressment led to 10 imprisoned years. 10 years a servile sailor, I toiled a fetid hold, with my government my jailer, nor no women, wine or gold. 10 years I served in limbo, which deemed I most unjust, as not a sniff of bimbo to satisfy a lust. A decade done in transit, payback for my sins, and every day I panicked should we rendezvous the twins. A slave to our grim government, slaver to counterparts, discovering as a servant the blackest human heart. I seen the pit that men will sink, seen every evil deed, seen men's blood burned black as ink, bent by the goblin of greed. Seen wicked things that evil men by that entity, for it grips, it melts the glue of men's integrity. And mighty men of honour, it gripped the hardest most, and their rectitude are goner by the greedy goblin ghost. I sailed with Kieft to Turkey, and bribes bulged in his purse, which made his marrow murky as his hunger came a curse. For that ransom money hoarded of the loved ones of the lost, which to him himself rewarded, so the loved ones double-crossed. I seen Kieft's eyes go crafty from their savings that he stole, but not as half as nasty as John Barber's eyes of coal. So I'd rather serve the goblin, though the selfish it bewitched, than the terrifying toxin of the twin to which Jan stitched. Seen blacks enslave Caucasians, and the whites enslave the black, but his in twins and its vibrations raised the hairs upon my back. And I was quite courageous, amongst the bravest sailed a ship, but the fear became contagious as it got me in its grip. Sometimes my state still aghast, then turns I cold and clammy, when I'm reminded of the past, of Janszoon and of his whammy. Now I will buy each man a mead, rum or wine or ale, if that man would only heed my cautionary tale. I will buy each man a drink who holsters he his gun, and not get up and go molest Janszoon's scoundrel son. I will by the bar a drink till each man is stewed, if each man should after think to calm his vengeful mood. And I will talk till morning, if till be afternoon, so that will all be on my warning of the dangerous Janszoon. Domini Everardus Burgardus. I'll counteract his offered grog for those still filled with faith, to those not fret like that dusky dog, nor of his father's faith. For those still willing form a band who stand behind their vicar, I'll bless those vigilantes and I'll drench that band in liquor. The stoutest men standing with Christ for victory and glory, those fearless of that poltergeist from Shotting's shady story. Thy saga will not sway the quest, though some seem in hysterics. The sturdy rest, though God I've blessed, to face down evil spirits. 'Tis not the first we've faced the cursed phantoms of ancestors, but firm we'll stand in God's own land, as charged by our investors. For Governor Kieft hath caused a flood, when given he the helm, of spirits since his base baths of blood disturbed them from their realm. Came ghosts to vex those partook in carnage at Pavonia, and massacres at Corlear's Hook, that stains our new Utopia. And though men chilled by children killed, their blood blotch in each sword, even then they're Christian men protected by the Lord. So hordes of savage deities, summoned by the slain, dare not haunt my diocese of Christ's conquered domain. And else besides, 'tis foreign tides that dwells his Dades demon, the distant shores of barbarous Moors, so say this spineless seaman. The far-off lands of fierce brigands where Mohammedans hath won, and if possessed, then I'd suggest may's not affect the sun. 'Tis just the father haunted, and it happened long ago. Be he ancient and exhausted, is his demon still in tow? 'Tis just John Barber haunted, and not his boy and heir, and any here still daunted, then I'll prop them up with prayer.